medical esthetician here at MD Skin Lab, and today I'm going to answer the question, how do I use a retinoid? Honestly, it's the question I get asked the most frequently in the clinic, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it with some expert tips. Okay, so since your retinoid is applied at night, I always start with a double cleanse. That means a oil or a balm cleanser for your first step, breaks your makeup and your sunscreen down beautifully, melts it away, and then I go in with a second cleanse, typically a cream milk-based cleanser. Today I'm using the SkinCeuticals Simply Clean Gel, and it just preps your skin for the next step. Okay, so when I do my oil cleanse or a balm cleanser for my first cleanse, I always do it on dry skin because it's not going to work well otherwise. The oil is going to melt everything down. When you add the water, typically it will emulsify, and then it's not going to do its job. So always on dry skin. Dry hands, dry skin, and really just like massage it. My second cleanse, this is with wet hands. Can be on the wet face. I'm just kind of dry right now. That's perfectly fine. Just to make sure that you get a nice essentially with your cleanser. If you're using the gel, if you're using cream, it doesn't matter. So I actually am healing from a treatment right now, so skin's a little red, peely. That's okay. Alright, so I just double cleansed my face. This next step is actually very important. Typically, if I were at home, I would be using a dry towel. However, I'm at work and I'm going to use some paper towels. I always press my skin dry. I don't rub. We don't rub. We pat. And for a retinoid application, you want your skin to be as dry as possible. So ideally, after you wash your face, you want to wait at least 5 minutes, at least 5 to 10. If you can do longer, even better. But 5 to 10, commit to that, because if you don't, it can increase the irritation. It opens up more pathways in the skin. The water just sucks it down. So it's going to increase the irritation, and we want to make this experience nice and comfortable for you. Okay, and the next step in our retinol routine is the lovely classic Vaseline. You can use Vaseline, you can use Aquaphor, but I use this as a barrier for the sensitive areas on the face. So we are going to be applying at the corners of the eye. You can do underneath the eye, you can do on the eyelid if you'd like, as well as in the nostril area, on the lips, and anywhere that your skin has any kind of abrasions or it's open, anywhere like that. Put that on and it's going to provide a barrier so the product doesn't go too deep and irritate further. So it's been about 10 minutes and I have applied my Vaseline. All the areas are protected that need to be protected, and we're going to do the application. So I have the Vivier Retinol 1% Night Complex, and this is the most important part. I hear all the time, oh, my face is really irritated, etc., etc., etc. I always ask, how much are you using? And usually the answer is way too much. So pea size amount, not too big, not too small. We are doing like that. That is how much you need for a retinoid. You don't need any more than that. And this is where it gets fun. So come to the mirror with me. So I always go like this, and then dot it onto my face. And once you've applied your dots, I go in and I press the product in. So another way to decrease irritation when you're using a retinoid, especially when you're beginning, is to avoid rubbing it into your skin. That is again going to increase that irritation. You just want to be gentle with it, because trust me, you don't need a lot and you don't need to go crazy. Just gentle. And you may think, okay, this isn't enough to cover my face. The product will actually migrate, so it's enough. Please don't use any more than that. And this is what you should look like afterwards. Alright, so after you apply your retinoid, you are going to go in with a moisturizer, ideally something heavier. I'm using the Epidermal Repair by SkinCeuticals. Triple lipid is also fantastic. Anything that is really nice and thick, unfragranced, something that isn't going to cause any more sensitivity. So, nice thick layer. Alternatively, you can also do this before your retinoid. So it creates a bit of a sandwich. So after you wash your face, you would apply your moisturizer, let it dry down, and then you would do the same application technique as what I showed you. And then you can also put more moisturizer on top of that afterwards. But you really just want to get a nice thick layer. Make sure everywhere is covered. In regards to the frequency of your application, I always recommend 1 to 3 times per week, and you want to start at a lower percentage. Otherwise, you will hurt yourself, which we don't want. But it's key that you're using it and checking in with yourself. You know what your skin looks like. If it's really red, if it's irritated, that can be normal. You are going through a retinization period. You have to get over that hump to get to that nice, clear, smooth skin, all the benefits that retinoid has, and it's going to be worth it. But low and slow, 1 to 3 times per week to start. Ideally, you want to get up to a once daily application. When you get to that point, that's when you know you can increase to a higher percentage, and then you start that process again. So whenever you're incorporating a retinoid into your routine, if you're a new user, it's always best to avoid any other actives in the routine, especially at nighttime. So that means no AHAs, no BHAs, no other acne topicals that may have been prescribed to you. It is a very, very potent ingredient, and if you want to avoid, again, the melting of the face, listen to me, don't do it. Wait a bit, you can then reintroduce at a later time once your skin gets used to it. Another tip is to always apply your SPF. Otherwise, you're doing that work, this is going to be the cherry on top. Always make sure to apply your sunscreen. Thank you so much for watching my Retinoid 101 video. If you guys have any further questions for me, I am one call, text, DM away.